Hello and welcome to Celebrate Swahili. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could be able to hack how to use Swahili past, present, and future tenses without breaking a sweat? Well, you're in good luck, my friend, because today that's exactly what we're going to introduce you to. It's actually pretty easy. I might be a little biased, but I think that Swahili is actually one of the easiest languages in the world to learn. It's beautiful, it's melodic, and it's very easy to grasp. So, well, let's get to it. So, past, present, and future tenses are very important when it comes to communication, obviously, and when it comes to using verbs. I think every language has a past, future, and present tense of their verbs. In Swahili, it could not be easier because, as you can see, Swahili has nearly for any and all verbs that you will ever use in the Swahili language, you're going to be starting it with the word nearly when it is a personal pronoun or a personal verb. So, in other words, if you were saying we, there'll be a little different, not by much, but let's not confuse ourselves and get ahead of the program here. We're just going to stick with me or I. So nearly is past. Nearly tafuta. So tafuta is to look or to find. Nearly tafuta. To arrive is to wasili, and nearly wasili would be in the past. I arrived. To finish, I'm just going down the line there. Nilimaliza. And that basically means I finished in the past. Yesterday, earlier today, not right now, earlier. In the past. Now to start, nilianza. Nilianza. To practice or to exercise, those two words mean the same in Swahili. They use the same one word, which is mazoezi. So to practice or to exercise, nilifanya. Fanya is do, mazoezi is exercise or practice. Nilifanya mazoezi. Answer, nilijibu. Forget, nilisahau. On left, niliondoka or leave means I left. Return, nilirudi. So nili. And I'm going to give you a quick hack in a minute here how to actually remember nili. It's actually pretty easy. But let's move on to the future. And again, look how easy it is. You just add nita, N-I-T-A, nita, not neither, nita, 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 and again, just to use the same verbs we've been using, you can go down the list and just plug in nita for future, plug in nime for present. I mean, can it get any easier? Nime. So, for instance, nimetafuta. I looked. So from the verb look we are talking about right now, nimetafuta. There's a cute little Swahili song. Nimetafuta kote kote. It's a cute song, but this is not a musical lesson, so let's stick to the program here. All right, nimetafuta, look. Nimewasili, arrive. Nimemaliza, finish, and so on. So I don't want to repeat myself there. Basically, just plug in nime in the beginning of any verb, and you will have a complete and very correct explanation of a present tense. So that would be a great presentation of present tense when you use nime. If you're trying to do a presentation of the future, you say nita. If you're trying to use to express the past, you use nili. So how would you say, for instance, I left. That's in the past. Niliondoka. Good job. How would you say, I just started? I just started. Present. Nimeanza. Nimeanza. So you can plug in the future verbs also the same way. Just go with nita. So pretty much you're removing nime if you're in the present and putting nita. So let's say I will finish. Let's say, your little kid comes in and they haven't finished their homework, and you ask them, are you going to finish your homework? I will finish, they say. Nitamaliza. Nitamaliza, mama. All right, so how would you say, I will practice, or I will exercise? Nitafanya mazoezi. I do want to give you another hack on top of this hack, and that is, don't try to cram or memorize any of anything we're trying to understand here. Just let it flow like a river. My experience of the languages I've learned is the ones that I've been able to do well are the ones where I didn't try to force my brain. I just kind of let it flow like a little baby. A little kid grows up and they hear one word here, one word there, and within no time they are repeating what other people said, and they have a whole language. I think that that's the best way to learn. If you try to cram, you reduce your retention rate. But if you just let this flow and use these little hacks that I'm giving you here, you're definitely going to find yourself being very conversational in Swahili within no time. So let's say you went to the gym and now you have a trainer and now they're talking to you and they want to ask you, will you exercise when you get home? Are you going to exercise? Are you going to put in practice what I showed you? So you can say in Swahili, I will practice. I will exercise. How would you say that? Nitafanya mazoezi. Very good. Nitafanya mazoezi. Okay, so let's say someone has sent you an email and they're asking you to answer the email back. They have a question there. How would you tell them, I will answer? Maybe you just want to tell them, stop bugging me, I will answer. I will answer. How would you say that in Swahili? Nitajibu. Nitajibu. Isn't that lovely? Nitajibu. Here's a good one. How would you say, someone asked you to do something and then you forgot? Men are very much culprits of this one. Your wife says, hey, can you help me with this? And then later on you forgot, and she says, hey, did you ever do what I asked you to? I forgot. Sorry, honey, I forgot. Sorry, honey, I forgot. Anyway, nilisahau. That's in the past. Nilisahau. Now, what you don't want to say is, honey, I will forget. That wouldn't go down so well. However, just for fun, how would you say, I will forget? Nitasahau. Nitasahau. What about right now, today, this minute? Nimesahau. So, plug in nili for past, nime for present, and nita for future. Here's how I would use to remember this. For nime, the ni stays the same, but the me, the me is me. And I'm always in the present. I'm always right here. So anytime I want to say something that is present, I have to remember, be present. Be in the moment. So nime is now. Okay? Now, nita, to look into the future. to look, ta. I know it's not exactly to, it's ta, but nita, to look into the future. If you're from the south, you say ta look into the future. Ni li. Li has to me the feeling of the past. And of course, if you have mastered now, the nime and the ta for the future, by the way, it's not tar, it's not to, it's ta. Nita, nita tafuta, nita tembea, nita wasili. Anyway, then it's gonna be easier for you to remember how to use the past for nili. Well, let's build up a little bit and add something on top of this building block. So how would you say I did not, or I will not, or I have not? That's where we are right now. And again, if this is too much already, you can pause and then come back later and continue. You can rewind. Feel free to do what works for you, but I just want to make sure I give you a little bit more to chew before we meet next time. Okay, so for the negative of past, again, just like with the positive, you would say siku. It's basically you plugging in siku for the past, sija for the present, and sita for the future. Let's see how this works. So, niliwasili means I arrived. Sikuwasili means I did not arrive. See how that works? Nilimaliza means I finished. Sikumaliza means I did not finish. Nilianza, I started. Sikuanza, I did not start. Nilifanya, I did. Sikufanya, I did not do. You can see how it flows. Nilijibu, I answered. Sikujibu, I did not answer. Okay, so for the present, it'll be the same thing. Sija is now, today, right this minute. I haven't done it. And for the future would be sita. I will not. I will not do it, you know. So someone says, hey, go look for this and that. You want to say, I'll not look for that. No, I'm not doing that. Sita tafuta. Okay. Now, the bottom one there is kind of interesting because if someone says, please come back, and you want to tell them, hey, I'm not coming back, you can say, sita rudi. Sita rudi. If you love them and you really want them to know that you'll be back, you can say nita rudi. So nita, sita. Nime, sija. Nili, siku. I know the negative side of it doesn't have a lot of any kind of a flow, but I think that just like with anything in language learning, the more you use it, the more it will become easier for you. And so that's how you do the positive and the negative for future tenses. So I have given you can screenshot this right here, because this is a pretty good example of what it would look like for the past and for the negative and for the positive. So right now is the negative. If you want to screenshot that, feel free to do that. And that is the positive. And that's how you do that. It's pretty easy. Let's do a little practice here for a minute. So someone says, fanya mazoezi. Do your exercise. How would you say, I will do my exercise? Nitafanya mazoezi. Nitafanya mazoezi. What if you were to say, I will not do any exercises today? I'm not going to do any practice. Sitafanya mazoezi. Sitafanya mazoezi. You might get in trouble with your coach, but you might as well tell them the truth. Sitafanya mazoezi. I will not do my exercise. All right. You go again. Here comes beautiful mama, or your sweet wife or husband or whatever, whoever you live with. And they're like, hey, don't forget to pay the electric bill. Usisahau kulipa bill ya umeme. That word bill, they have other names, but it's more commonly used as bill. So I just want to keep it that way. Usisahau kulipa bill ya umeme. Don't forget to pay the electric bill. All right, so if you want to tell them, I will not, you just say, sita sahau. That's it, sita sahau. All right, because sahau, remember, is forget. So I will not sita sahau. So, but let's say you want to say, I forgot. Oh my goodness, I forgot to pay the bill. Now the lights are about to be cut off. Nilisahau. Nilisahau. So you can add samahani. Forgive me, I forgot. Samahani. Nilisahau. All right. Sikusahau. I did not. That's in the future now. Sikusahau. I did not forget to pay the bill. That's why you see these lights on right now. Because I didn't forget. Nilisahau. I forgot. Sitasahau. I will not forget. Sikusahau. I did not forget. Okay, here's something fun. Let's say someone is saying you are at the you're flying in and they want to know what time you're arriving so they can be there to pick you up. And you can say, what time are you arriving? If you already arrived, you can just tell them, Niliwasili leo asubuhi. I arrived this morning. I already arrived, man. What you talking about? Niliwasili leo asubuhi. Isn't that a beautiful word, asubuhi? Morning. That's morning. Asubuhi. Asubuhi. This is not asabuhi. How about some people say asabuhi? No, it's asubuhi. Swahili is a phonetic language, which means you read what you see. Asubuhi. All right, what if you want to tell them, I did not arrive? Siku wasili. Siku wasili. I did not arrive. All right, what if you are landing right now or you just arrived? Nimewasili. I arrived. I arrived. And you can also say tayari. Nimewasili tayari. That means already. I already arrived. Tayari. Tayari has many uses. This is one of them. I arrived already. Nimewasili. Oh, what about you want to tell them, I have not arrived yet? I haven't arrived yet. Sijawasili bado. Sijawasili bado. What if you want to tell them, plane's landing a little late, so you will be arriving at 9 p.m. Nitawasili saa tatu jioni. Notice that 9 p.m., when you do this, the clock in Swahili, it's actually 3. So tatu is not really 9. Tatu is 3. But that's one other time. Let's not tax our minds with things that we don't need to worry about right now. But just know that nitawasili saa tatu jioni means I will be arriving at 9 p.m. Change your plan. I'm not arriving today. Sitawasili leo. I am not arriving today. What time will you be back? Utarudi saa ngapi? Nitarudi saa 4. Nilirudi saa 4. I returned at 10. Sikurudi. I did not return. Nimerudi sasa hivi. I just returned or arrived. I just returned. Sijarudi bado. I haven't arrived. Or I have not arrived. Same thing. Sijarudi bado. I have not arrived. Nitarudi kesho. Nitarudi kesho. You know, say you're in love with this beautiful person and they're saying, oh, please don't leave. I need you. And you might just say, I'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry, I'll be back tomorrow. Nitarudi kesho. Uh-oh, it's not something that you probably don't want to say unless you have to. Sitarudi kamwe. I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back. So forget about seeing me ever again. Well, do a little practice with that, and I really hope this pushed you forward towards your Swahili comprehension and your ability to converse in Swahili. I appreciate you spending a little time here with me, and I will see you on the next one. Keep on climbing. Asante sana. Kwaheri.